one of my favorite Morales poems, which is called What's Lacking. And again, I think it's just such a powerful work of his. This is the concluding poem in this little book of his as well. What's lacking? Our language a little, certain months of May that we think are still alive, the warm shade that may not exist anymore, a slender hand across our foreheads when crisis hits and the devils get hold of us. Life a little, death a little. In the end, the noisy fatigue that somehow precedes victories. To know down in our bones how much defeat hurts. To pick up the telephone and recognize a voice we can trust. To receive the insult we probably deserve. To make room for tenderness as if it were the last chance. That and a long, painful apprenticeship. Such a beautiful little poem. That's called What's Lacking. I really adore the idea of ending a collection of poems with a poem titled What's Lacking, a poem about lack, and yet this poem that speaks about lack is so full. I love how Morales inverts that and ends the book on such a powerful generative note even about lack. Exile, to Raul Gustavo Aguirre. This mania to see myself as an angel, ageless, without a death in which to live, without pity for my name, nor for my bones which weep wandering. And who doesn't have a love? And who doesn't feel joy among the poppies? And who doesn't possess a fire, a death, a fear, something horrible, even though it were feathered, even though it came with smiles? Sinister delusion to love a shadow. The shadow doesn't die, and my love only embraces what flows like lava from hell. A silent lodge, ghosts sweetly erect, priests of foam, and above all, angels. Angels as beautiful as knives that arise during the night and lay waste to hope. I think you can hear some of that, the duende, as I've talked about before, with various poets of Spain and Latin America, and other poets as well. And I mentioned this before in the episode on Lorca. Alejandra Pizarnik certainly has duende. I want to begin by reading a poem from Neruda and Vallejo's Selected Poems, edited by Robert Bly. And this is a Robert Bly translation as well, this first poem. And this is that I'm going to read. And this first poem is from Neruda's great book, Residence on Earth. And it's titled Walking Around. Bootsy, by the way, is not boycotting Neruda. She loves Neruda, I can guarantee that. It's just a little warm, and sometimes she takes to the floor in this kind of heat. Walking around. It so happens I am sick of being a man. And it happens that I walk into tailor shops and movie houses, dried up, waterproof, like a swan made of felt, steering my way in a water of wombs and ashes. The smell of barber shops makes me break into hoarse sobs. The only thing I want is to lie still like stones or wool. The only thing I want is to see no more stores, no gardens, no more goods, no spectacles, no elevators. It so happens I am sick of my feet and my nails and my hair and my shadow. It so happens I am sick of being a man. Still, it would be marvelous to terrify a law clerk with a cut lily, or kill a nun with a blow on the ear. It would be great to go through the streets with a green knife, letting out yells until I died of the cold. I don't want to go on being a root in the dark, insecure, stretched out, shivering with sleep, going on down into the moist guts of the earth, taking in and thinking, eating every day. I don't want so much misery. I don't want to go on as a root in a tomb, alone under the ground, a warehouse with corpses, half frozen, dying of grief. That's why Monday, when it sees me coming with my convict face, blazes up like gasoline, and it howls on its way like a wounded wheel, and leaves tracks full of warm blood leading toward the night. And it pushes me into certain corners, into some moist houses, into hospitals where the bones fly out the window, into shoe shops that smell like vinegar, and certain streets hideous as cracks in the skin. There are sulfur-colored birds and hideous intestines hanging over the doors of houses that I hate. And there are false teeth forgotten in a coffee pot. There are mirrors that ought to have wept from shame and terror. There are umbrellas everywhere, and venoms and umbilical cords. I stroll along serenely with my eyes, my shoes, my rage, forgetting everything. I walk by, going through office buildings and orthopedic shops and courtyards with washing hanging from the line, underwear, towels, and shirts from which slow, dirty tears are falling. Brings a vital voice to life of the Latin American female experience. Here's a poem that really moves and talks about that experience in very intense ways. This is translated by Marion Freeman and Mary Crow together. It's called You Want Me White. You'd like me to be white as dawn. You'd like me to be made of foam. You wish I were mother of pearl, a lily chaste above all others, of delicate perfume, a closed bud. Not one ray of the moon should have filtered me. Not one daisy should have called me sister. You want me to be snowy. You want me to be white. You want me to be like dawn. You who have held all the wine glasses in your hand, your lips stained purple with fruit and honey. You who in the banquet crowned with young vines made toasts with your flesh to Bacchus. You who in the gardens, black with deceit, dressed in red, ran to your ruin. You who keep your skeleton well preserved, intact. I don't know yet through what miracles you want to make me white. God forgive you. You want to make me chaste. God forgive you. You want to make me like dawn. Run away to the woods. Go to the mountain. Wash your mouth. Get to know the wet earth with your hands. Feed your body with bitter roots. Drink from the rocks. Sleep on the white frost. Renew your tissue with the salt of rocks and water. Talk to the birds and get up at dawn. And when your flesh has returned to you, and when you have put your soul back into it, your soul which was left entangled in all the bedrooms, then, my good man, ask me to be white, ask me to be snowy, ask me to be chaste. I hear at least minor echoes of the great Peruvian poet César Vallejo in that poem. They're not exactly alike, but I hear minor echoes, and interestingly, they lived during the same exact same years, 1892 to 1938. There's another favorite of mine that has no title, but it's known by its first line, which is "Let the millionaire go naked." In this poem especially, you'll see Vallejo's incredible surrealist range and ability to leap imaginatively with wild leaps of association. The poem has great vitality and energy because of that. Let the millionaire go naked. Let the millionaire go naked, stark naked. Disgrace for whoever builds his deathbed with treasures. A world for whoever greets, an armchair for whoever sows in the sky. Tears for whoever finishes what he does, keeping the beginnings. Let the spur-wearer walk. Let the wall crumble on which another wall is not growing. Let the miserable man have all his misery. Bread for whoever laughs. Let the triumphs lose and the doctors die. Let milk be in our blood. Let a candle be added to the sun, 800 to 20. Let eternity pass under the bridges, scorn for whoever puts on clothes. Let our feet be crowned with hands, be fit in their size. Let my person sit next to me, to cry having fit in that womb. Grace for whoever sees air in the air. Many years of nail for the hammer stroke. Let the naked man be stripped naked. Let the cape put on pants. Let the copper gleam at the expense of its plates. Majesty for whoever falls from the clay to the universe. Let the mouths weep. Let the glances groan. Let us stop the steel from enduring. Thread for the portable horizons. 12 cities for the stone path. A sphere for whoever plays with his shadow. A day made of an hour for married people. A mother at the plow in praise of the soil. Let the liquids be sealed with 2 seals. Let the mouthful call the roll. Let the descendants be. Let the quail be. Let the poplar and the tree have their race. Let the sea, contrary to the circle, defeat his son, and the crying gray hair. Leave the asps alone, gentle sirs. Furrow your flame with the 7 logs. Live. Let the height be raised. Let the deepness descend deeper. Let the wave drive its impulse walking. Let the vault's truce be a success. Let us die. Wash your skeleton every day. Pay no attention to me. Let a bird grasp the despot and his soul, an awful stain for whoever walks around alone. Sparrows for the astronomer, for the sparrow, an aviator. Give off rain, give off sun. Keep an eye on Jupiter, on the thief of your gold idols. Copy your handwriting in 3 notebooks. Learn from the couples when they speak and from the lonely when they are silent. Give food to the sweethearts. Give drink to the devil from your hands. Fight for justice with your nape. Make yourselves equal. Let the oak be fulfilled. Let the leopard be fulfilled between two oaks. Let us be. Let us be here. Let us feel how the water sails in the oceans. Take nourishment. Let the error be conceived, since I am crying, accept it, while goats and their young climb along the cliff. Make God break the habit of being a man. Grow up. I am called. I am going back. You hear the velocity of that poem and its acceleration of images through the associative leaps that Vallejo has.